It is 10 a.m. on a bright, scorching Tuesday morning in Ohio, and a veteran truck driver is pulling the thick blackout curtain shut inside his sleeper cab. Outside, the sun is blazing and the interstate is roaring, but this driver is forcing himself to go to sleep. He is not lazy, and he is not even tired yet. He is playing a high-stakes mathematical game against an unforgiving digital clock, and if he loses, he will be stranded on the highway with nowhere safe to park. Most people think long-haul truck drivers just run until they get exhausted and then pull over for the night. That is a massive misconception, because the old days of paper logbooks are completely gone. Ever since the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration enforced the electronic logging device mandate, every single second of a driver's day is tracked by a computer wired directly into the truck engine. This rigid digital eye has created a quiet crisis on American highways, forcing thousands of operators into a brutal routine called the split sleeper berth provision. Drivers are now dividing their mandatory rest into a chaotic 7-hour block and a 3-hour block just to survive the day. If you do not understand the hidden math behind this shift, you are operating at a massive disadvantage in today's freight economy. To truly understand why this is happening, we have to look past the surface at a hidden financial war taking place right now on a hostile warehouse loading dock. Picture a truck parked at a massive distribution center. The driver arrived on time for a scheduled unloading appointment, but the facility is running several hours behind schedule. This scenario is known as uncompensated detention, which means the driver is held hostage at the dock without earning any income. Sitting still in a commercial vehicle is not just boring. It literally bleeds hard-earned money right out of an operator's wallet. Let us look at the real mathematical damage. The American Transportation Research Institute 2017 operating cost study revealed that the average cost to run a commercial truck is $66.65 per hour. When a shipper delays a truck, the standard industry practice forces the driver to wait 2 full hours for free. After those 2 hours pass, the financial hit continues. A recent FreightWaves driver detention pricing report shows that common detention pay usually hovers between $30 and $75 per hour. This means that even when drivers eventually receive waiting pay, they are still operating at a negative margin compared to their fixed daily expenses. While the driver sits at that loading dock bleeding cash, their digital engine computer is steadily counting down their 14 allowed working hours for the day. If they stay in a normal working status, their legal driving time will vanish completely. This is the exact moment veteran operators weaponize the 7-hour sleeper berth rule. They climb into the back of the cab and log themselves into the sleeper berth while waiting for the warehouse workers. By taking this specific action, they mathematically freeze their digital driving clock. They use the government rulebook as a shield to stop the timer while the facility wastes their day. This clever strategy allows them to preserve their driving hours for the open highway. But mathematically outsmarting a hostile loading dock is only half the battle. Because once the truck is finally empty and they pull out of those gates, a completely different clock is waiting for them. That frozen timer means they are now driving straight into a terrifying race against the setting sun. As that heavy truck leaves the warehouse, the driver faces a brutal, nationwide reality. They froze their digital clock to save precious driving hours, but saving those hours means they will be driving late into the afternoon. And in the trucking world, the late afternoon is a strict deadline you never want to miss. The latest Jason's Law truck parking survey updates reveal a staggering and undeniable numbers game. There are only about 313,000 official parking spaces available for millions of commercial trucks on the road. Because of this massive physical gap, major truck stops operate well over 100% capacity every single night. If a driver is traveling along busy commercial routes, Interstate 95 corridor capacity metrics prove a very grim reality. Finding a legal piece of asphalt after 4 in the afternoon is mathematically impossible. This strict daily deadline is exactly why the bizarre daytime sleep schedule actually exists. By forcing themselves to sleep at the warehouse during the day, operators completely adjust their available driving window. This calculated strategy allows them to hit the highway and secure a spot just before the massive evening rush floods the parking lot. It is a brilliant survival tactic that guarantees them a safe parking space before the sun goes down. But this hard-earned victory comes with a hidden and incredibly expensive cost. Because the moment the driver finally parks and turns off the main engine, that fragmented daytime schedule begins secretly destroying the truck from the inside out. When you turn off that massive main diesel engine, the cab quickly becomes a metal oven or a freezing icebox. You have to stay comfortable to sleep, so you immediately fire up your auxiliary systems. A piece of equipment like the Webasto Airtop 2000 STC diesel bunk heater barely uses any fuel. It seems like the perfect solution for a quick daytime nap. But relying on these systems in short, broken bursts triggers a hidden mechanical disaster. To really understand this disaster, you need to look at your main power source. Modern commercial trucks rely on heavy, absorbent glass matte deep cycle battery banks. These are commonly known as AGM batteries. They are specifically engineered to provide a slow, steady electrical drain all night long. After that, they need a long, continuous recharge out on the highway the very next day. But your split sleeper routine completely shatters this natural charging cycle. Instead of one long rest, you are forcing the truck to run heavy electrical loads in short, erratic daytime bursts. This constant stopping and starting prevents the alternator from ever fully recharging the system. It causes severe chemical damage inside the battery plates known as sulfation. Your expensive power grid literally chokes to death. If this is the first time you are hearing this, share this video with every owner-operator you know. They need to hear it. You are slowly killing an expensive industrial machine just to legally park your truck. But think about this dark reality for a second. If splitting your sleep into chaotic pieces does this much permanent chemical damage to heavy-duty steel and lead, what exactly is it doing to your own human body? Your body was never built to sleep in broken pieces. When you force yourself into a polyphasic sleep schedule, you fight millions of years of human biology. Sleeping in disjointed chunks during daylight hours completely shatters your internal clock. And the damage goes far beyond simply feeling tired. A massive split sleep study published in the National Transportation Library at rosap.ntl.bts.gov measured exactly what happens to commercial drivers on this schedule. The results are terrifying. Forcing your sleep into a bright daytime window actively alters your blood chemistry. The researchers found that this unnatural routine causes your blood glucose levels to spike dangerously while severely dropping your testosterone, according to strict DOT polyphasic sleep and circadian rhythm guidelines. This level of biological disruption is a recipe for complete physical disaster. You are not just resting. You are tricking your central nervous system, and your body is fiercely fighting back. Let us put all the pieces together. You are bleeding money at a hostile warehouse dock. You are chemically destroying your expensive battery grid, and you are actively breaking down your own blood chemistry. You endure all of this physical and financial damage just to guarantee a safe piece of asphalt before sunset. The next time people pass a parked semi-truck on the highway, they need to realize the brutal sacrifices made just to keep the supply chain moving. But the parking crisis is just one small part of a much darker industry trap. If you think fighting for a safe place to sleep is the hardest part of being an owner-operator, you are completely missing the bigger picture. There is a quiet movement happening right now designed to strip away your independence. They are secretly forcing you into a corner where you will have to rent your very own truck just to keep driving.